Are you thinking about going carnivore? Today I'm going to talk about 10 easy tips to help you get started on your journey to make it more successful. Whether you're just starting or you need a little reminder to keep you going, let's see what I have today. Now, in no particular order here, I'm going to give you 10 things that'll make your carnivore journey easier. One of my cardinal rules I live by is eat a lot of fat, and that's getting the fattier cuts of meat. And even if you aren't so fortunate and you don't have the best cut of meat, you can always add butter, coconut oil, and other fats like bacon fat to your dish to make it more, satiating. And probably my favorite tip here today is I make a weekly dish that it takes me a week to eat, and that's a beef chili. I'm not going to give you the recipe right now. I might make a video about that, but it's just some beef, like half beef, half pork, and I throw a little bit of vegetables in. I put some cilantro. I do a little bit of scallions, and I use beef broth, beef bone broth, and just various spices. But I make like enough to eat like every day for a week. It's perfect to have on standby, and I don't have to cook dinner every day. And another good rule that takes some getting used to is avoiding your first meal, or better yet, just waiting as long as possible to eat for the first time during the day. Ideally what you want to do is do an OMAD, like one meal a day. And if you can't do that, at least do some intermittent fasting where you have like a 6-hour window, 8-hour window, maybe a 4-hour window where you allow yourself to eat solid foods. The rest of the time you're drinking water or tea. Another thing, I know the price of things is going up a lot, and you can't always get the $30 a pound meat, but don't worry about it. You should embrace using, what the hell's wrong with my throat? You should embrace using a slow cooker. That's a great way to turn not so great cuts of meat into nice tender meat. So don't worry about it. Don't stress about the quality of the meat. And here's another, I think, very important tip. This is personal for me, but I think a lot of people haven't put the pieces together yet in their head. But chicken is not your friend. Chicken, there's something wrong with chickens these days. Unless you get the purest of chickens available, the most expensive kind, chicken makes me feel off. There's something not right about eating chicken. And a lot of people may disagree with me, but it's just not right. Beef is the way to go. And like I mentioned before, it doesn't have to be chili, but always prepare food so you have leftovers. And another good example of having leftovers is make a ton of mini meatballs, half-ounce meatballs. Make 100 of them. And then you always have something to pop in your mouth if and when you get hungry. Bacon is another good idea. Make a pound or two of bacon at a time and keep it in a Ziploc bag in your fridge, and you can have a snack if you need it. Speaking of snacks, about the only packaged food I feel is worthy of being called a snack is pork rinds, because there's 0 carbs and they literally stop you from eating. You can't eat a whole bag of pork rinds. You'll feel like your throat is caving in. You can only have a couple, and it gives you that satisfying crunch, and you feel like you're eating something. It takes a little bit of effort. And some honorable mentions for snacks are macadamia nuts, but they're very dangerous because you can shovel way too many in, and it's just fattening. There's a lot of energy in macadamia nuts per ounce. And third is hard-boiled eggs. Hard-boiled eggs. Make half a dozen hard-boiled eggs and keep them in your fridge. You take a day or two to eat them. Perfect snack. And a very important tip, not just with carnivore or keto or any diet, it's being patient, because don't expect 21-day or 30-day results, and don't expect them, please, because you're going to be disappointed and you're going to lose your enthusiasm to continue the diet and new lifestyle. Just give it time. It could take months or years before it really starts getting into gear. It took me, I don't know, I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I finally got it. It took way too long, but I finally figured it out perfectly now. So just don't be hard on yourself. Just have patience and stay on the right track. And here's a good general tip, not just for carnivore, but buy in bulk to help offset the price of meat and other expensive food items. Go to a Costco or buy family packs at the supermarket. Sometimes you can get beef for under $3 a pound if you're lucky. And you just freeze them. Put them in quart-sized Ziploc bags and freeze them a pound at a time, and you have your meat ready to go at a moment's notice. And the last tip for today is to not forget your electrolytes. Electrolytes are kind of important because you may feel off at times, and when you withdraw from many of the foods and vegetables you eat, you may throw your electrolyte balance off. And there's no rule of thumb that fits everybody. You could be low in salt, you could be low in magnesium, for instance, if your joints get cramped up. Magnesium is an important thing to pay attention to. And a lot of people say that potassium is a big deal. I kind of disagree. I'll do a potassium supplement maybe once a week just for maintenance, but you get plenty of potassium from your food. The salt is something that you want to keep an eye on. Make sure it's not regular table salt, because that's the opposite of sea salt. Sea salt is beneficial. It has a ton of, like 80 minerals in it that help. It's a perfect balance the way nature has created salt. But when they refine the salt and remove everything except the sodium, it's the worst thing you can possibly put in your body. So just do some research on your electrolyte levels and experiment on your own body, and you'll figure out what you need. I mean, some people make an electrolyte drink they sip on during the day. You don't have to be that perfect, but just look into it and keep an eye on your electrolyte levels. So that's it. Carnivore, in the end, is really, really simple. All you need is a little common sense. That's it. So that's it, guys. I'll see you next video, and have a great day.